Hello and welcome to The Journey, WCTV's only faith-based program. I'm your host, Emily Bennett. Over the course of this semester, we are going to walk with students through their daily lives and take a look at how faith impacts them. We will also follow along with students and how they serve throughout both faith and the community of Waynesburg. Please take a half hour, sit down, and relax with us as we go on a journey with students, staff, and residents of Waynesburg.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
In today's episode, we will take a look at the new Center for Campus Ministry, which is located on the first floor of the Stover Campus Center. Ben Ledbetter and Andrew Rhea stopped by and spoke with some campus ministry assistants about their personal connections with God, as well as their duties as CMAs here on campus.
I would say my story was more of a gradual sort of upbringing. I was raised in a Christian family. But I will say, like, whenever I really made my faith my own was whenever, I came to Waynesburg University here as a freshman, and I got here and realizing, hey, I'm making the own choices for my life now, and I can either choose to devote my life to Christ or go off on my own selfish ways, going after, money, a career, things that aren't really of God. And I decided that I wanted to do the right thing, and I wanted to, go after the things that God wants me to do.
I think most times I just kind of start out with a casual conversation, just ask how classes are going or their day or whatever, and then from there it kind of leads to it. I'll invite them to my Bible study or church or upper room or something. And then, I don't know, it kind of just flows into a conversation about faith.
I think it really changes everything. When I started college is when, I was involved in some ministry things in high school, but then college was where I really got more involved in ministry-related activities. And each of those things, as I came to know the Lord more and more, it influenced the way that I did everything. The way that I saw the purpose of my life, the way I interacted with other people, the purpose for doing schoolwork, all of those things are different when you're doing it for the Lord and to glorify God. So yeah, I think college is where I started to understand that, and then now that's the purpose of me being here. That's my main job here in the residence halls and in the campus ministry center, is to walk alongside students as they come to know Jesus, to glorify Him and expand the kingdom.
As I said, freshman year is whenever I realized this is what I wanted to do, and I didn't really realize how much knowledge I had, how much God has blessed me throughout my life, until I came here and realized how much I could give back and how much I could really, make an impact not only on my own life but on the lives of people around me. So, I love talking to people, love getting to know other people, and to be an example to them. And college is a huge turning point in our life, and to help guide people on the right path is.
We will hear more from the CMAs right after this quick break.
Can I help you?
Oh, I'm depression. I've come for you.
What?
Depression. The thing that makes people angry. I keep them up at night. Oh, I give them anxiety. I get up on their heads.
That's
crazy. I know. The government likes to think that I'm a mental illness.
Well, then shouldn't you be wearing a cape?
Why? So people could see me coming? No, I've got 12.6% of American college students already. There's no one I can't get.
For more information, visit www.acha.org.
Welcome back to The Journey. Let's head back to the new Campus Ministry Center for more.
I was a new student, felt very uncomfortable, and I think, ministry is something I wanted to get into, like as a first-time student. I just didn't really know how to, and I think the CMAs just do a good job of advertising that and pulling people in, so I kind of wanted to be a part of that and get people involved.
Well, I'd say it's definitely made me a more social person. Before I came to college, I'd say a bit antisocial. I wasn't a very talkative person, like to keep to myself a lot. But through ministry, it's made me, I really, really enjoy community, making community, and getting to know other people now that I've been involved in it.
Encouraging. I think that just goes back to knowing that everything is not for me. So I think it's encouraging to know that I'm not the beginning or the end of anything that I'm doing. It's all part of it's a part of a bigger story than what I have. So I think it's encouraging that the story is so big, but then Jesus says that my part of it is so important. So I think the love that comes with that, and also the humility, I think that's encouraging to know that I'm part of something so big, and Christ loves me, but He's really the center of it.
Just my youth pastor back home, because he was very open about his faith and the ups and downs of it, and the struggles that come with it, but also the good things. So I talked to him and stuff, and he'd encourage me really just to dig deeper.
I honestly didn't see it at first. I really it really wasn't expected at all, really. I came here as an environmental science major because I liked science and I liked the outdoors, and seemed like something I wanted to do. I really didn't see myself getting too involved in ministry on campus at first, but after going to events like Upper Room, it made me realize, there's things I can do here to not only pursue the career I want, but also pursue the ministry of students.
Yeah, I think my position here is very malleable to whatever the needs are of the students. So there are events that campus ministry runs. There are there's programs, there are small groups, things like that. And so I think my purpose or my goals are to use what we're doing effectively to be the most, efficient tools for students. So continue to grow in what we're offering students, and take feedback from students of what went well, what didn't go well, and using the tools that we have to reflect Christ to all corners of campus. So this year was my first year here. I'm hoping to learn a lot from Reverend Tinnemeyer and Professor Sumter, and from the students as well. There's a lot that I can learn from the students. So my goal is to learn a lot and to invest in students and in faculty and staff members. And then in the years to come, I think to continue to mold the program so that it is really benefiting students, so that, like I said, it's reflecting Christ in all corners of campus.
Stop by here, the Center for Campus Ministry, probably, because there's almost always at least one CMA in here. or someone that's at least involved in campus ministry. And I mean, it's a very open, comfortable space, so I'd probably just tell them to come in here, and there's advertisements for all the Bible studies and stuff. Just come in here and ask someone about it. Or it's advertised in the dorm halls, like, who's a CMA? Just stop by and ask questions.
I would say that it can be intimidating to go into a new community and get involved, and I understand the nerves that come with that, but I think the reward is worth so much more than the risk. And I think there are ways to get involved that are less anxiety provoking. So I think if you need to wiggle your way in slowly, I think that would be awesome. Or there's ways to get involved that you don't have to just jump in by yourself. So either get to know the CMA on your floor, come into the Center for Campus Ministry and talk to myself or Josh, or go. I think going 2 by 2 is a good image. So yeah, if you're nervous to get involved by yourself, bring your best friend and go together, because I think that makes it a lot less intimidating. But yeah, I would definitely say there are ways to get involved that are more comfortable for different students. So if you have a background in the Catholic Church and you feel more comfortable in that, I would say get involved in those activities. Or if you went to youth group in high school and you played a lot of games or had a lot of fun there, I would say probably small groups or upper room might feel more comfortable to you. So you don't have to go full force into it. Do what you feel take the steps you feel like you can take first, and then get involved from there.
We would like to thank Victoria, Clay, and Lauren for sharing their time and stories with us. But when we return on the journey, the Assistant Chaplain of Waynesburg University, Josh Sumter, will be in studio. Don't go anywhere.
In your new role, we help you help. Visit aarp.org/caregiving for information on how to provide even better care for the person who once took care of you.
We're back on the journey. I'm Emily Bennett. Joining us now is Assistant Chaplain and Professor of Biblical Ministries Studies here at Waynesburg University, Mr. Josh Sumter. Professor Sumter, thanks for joining us today. So we're going to hop right into kind of the CMA program. What are some of the changes in this program this year?
Yeah, campus ministry assistants here at Waynesburg University, we're just really excited to just give them a vision to connect, equip, and serve students here on our campus. They function as an extension of our campus ministry office, and they're essentially leaders on campus where they just serve and love students in their residence halls, lead small groups and Bible studies, and have opportunities to reach more students than we can with our staff of 3. And so just really excited as far as changes. Just providing training for them and giving them a vision of every student in your residence hall is somebody that you can equip and serve and love.
Now, some people that might have walked through the Stover Center might have seen some changes in the old chapel. Kind of talk about why that was decided to make that kind of the CMA hub.
Yeah, the prayer chapel was really a formative space for many students, in particular our Catholic Mass that took place in there. But after evaluating, we realized our students were really only using that space on Tuesdays, and we wanted to maximize really what the Student Center is and how do we create a space for campus ministry. Before, if you were a freshman on our campus and wanted to get involved or talk to campus ministry staff, it was really difficult to find people or find out where you could get involved or find out what resources were available to you. And so we just re-envisioned that space to be the Center for Campus Ministry. And so you'll hear some students call it the Hub. It's the hub for resources for students. It's a place where you can meet with staff, and it's being used every single day, 8:30 to 4:30, and then it's booked from 7 to 10 p.m. with small groups, Bible studies, different groups that are using it. So it's being maximized in the Student Center for Ministry.
Now, we've only been here for a few weeks, but have you really seen it being utilized how you've been wanting it to?
Yeah, well, we find ways to get students into our space. So every morning I brew 40 cups of coffee. We have phone chargers, we have snacks, we have food. We're really excited for Lauren Bailey, who joined our campus ministry staff. She does office hours in there. I moved my office from Buell to the Stover Campus Center, and so my office is in there. And just a great space. The door is open, there's music playing, and it's really just a living room, a space for college students to come in and just be and get connected.
Now, what is kind of your vision for the campus ministry program here at Waynesburg?
Our hope is really just to point students to Jesus. Regardless of backgrounds, regardless of tradition, our hope is just to point them to Jesus in any way that we can. And my vision is that every student here grows. Whether it's academically, emotionally, relationally, socially, our hope is that students just grow, and ultimately from a spiritual perspective, they grow in faith in Jesus Christ.
Now, what's kind of your favorite part working with your CMAs here on campus?
My favorite part is just to hear their stories, to hear the fruit that is coming out of their small groups and Bible studies, and the way that they are being used by God to impact our campus.
Now, what do you think this program really adds to Waynesburg's campus?
I think it adds a leadership opportunity. I mean, there's a lot of students that are doing ministry on our campus, but for our CMAs, Lauren Bailey and myself are here to encourage them, resource them, journey with them, and so there's just an added level of accountability and encouragement that comes with being a campus ministry assistant. But ultimately, it's a leadership opportunity for our students to grow, but also to serve.
Now, if someone's kind of interested in becoming a CMA, can I talk about the process of how you can become one?
Yeah, each spring we take applications. We'll post that on MyConnect in the portal that's available to students here, but even they can just talk to our campus ministry staff. But there's an application and an interview, and we're looking to have campus ministry assistants in every residence hall, especially freshman residence halls. So if you're a student that's going to be an upperclassman, we would love for you to apply and just have another way that you can impact students during your time here.
Now, how have you seen, and you work a lot with CMAs, how have you seen them personally grow?
Yeah, a lot of them are having a leadership opportunity for the first time. So they have an opportunity to lead people and to be intentional and to have an expectation that they will lead. And for some of them, they might be introverts. And so it's fun to see them grow, maybe thinking of your roommate, Mariah, who then is forced into a leadership opportunity, and she has to go out of her way to meet people and journey with them. And so it's just exciting to witness that and see the ways that they grow.
Well, thank you so much. But guys, don't go anywhere, because we're going to come back here for more with Professor Josh Sumter.
Body language. Without saying a word, it can tell you so much. Like someone is having a stroke. Know the sudden signs. Learn fast. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time. Time to call 911 immediately. The sooner they get to the hospital, the sooner they'll get treatment. And that can make a remarkable difference in their recovery. Learn the body language, the sudden signs, and spot a stroke fast.
Welcome back to The Journey. We're here with Professor Josh Sumter. You've been here for about 3 years. What's kind of your favorite part about Waynesburg University?
My favorite part, well, I live in Waynesburg, and I've lived in Waynesburg since 2010, and so for me, it's the just being integrated with the life of the university and to just journey with students. I really view my job as one who journeys with students, who is just relational and tries to build bridges across campus. And so that's my favorite part of what I do. I just get to meet a lot of people. So I teach, I serve as the assistant chaplain, but ultimately I'm just always on campus, whether it's cheering at WU athletic events or bringing my kids up to the dining hall. We just are here as a family to journey with WU students.
Now, how have you kind of seen the community here at Waynesburg grow?
I would say the community at Waynesburg is just a lot more unified in direction of growth and how students are growing, and using even that language in our tagline across campus for students to be growing. I think our ministries on campus are a lot more unified. There's not like competition of, oh, these people go to this ministry and this one's healthy and this one's really big and this one's small. It's we're all in this together as we see the kingdom of God grow here on our campus.
Now, what kind of called you to be a professor and assistant chaplain in general and also like at Waynesburg?
Yeah, well, I was a youth pastor in Ohio for 3 years and then a youth pastor here in Waynesburg, Pennsylvania for 7 years. And I just loved connecting with college students. A lot of them served as mentors for my youth group and small group leaders and leaders, even most recently John Knabb, a 1,000-point scorer at Waynesburg University. He was a part of our team and a lot of alumni before him. And the more that I spent time with college students, the more that I felt called to help them grow in their journey as students spiritually and in a lot of other ways as well. And an opportunity came available here to serve as assistant chaplain, but also to teach Introduction to New Testament and a variety of other classes. And I'm just truly grateful for it.
What's your favorite part about teaching?
My favorite part about teaching is honestly just when students get it. There's a lot of assumptions that students enter BMS 106, Intro to New Testament, with, right? It's a general education class here, and so there's a variety of students with a variety of backgrounds, and I truly just love when students start to enjoy the class and that they learn and that they grow and that you can journey with them as they read the biblical text. And you see that light bulb come on. I love to see that.
Now, what are some of the challenges of being an assistant chaplain and also a professor?
I mean, the challenge is always time management, especially when you're in a high relational occupation, because you can easily start talking to students for a very long time, and yet there's a lot of background details and administrative work that comes with the role of professor and of assistant chaplain. And so it's taking care of those details, configuring my time and calendar to be student-centered, but also to be able to get my work done.
Now, I see you all over this campus. How do you really keep yourself involved in the students' lives, especially because you have a family of your own?
Yeah, ideally I'd like to just bring my family along with me when I go to basketball games and football games, but it's just trying to find life balance. I don't view my work as always job, it's just a part of who I am. And to journey with students isn't burdensome. It's not something that you have a clock for. I truly just enjoy what I do. And so my family, we sort of embrace that identity as being a family that's here to serve students at Waynesburg University. And so it sort of all just goes together. That probably happens too because Waynesburg's a small knit community. That the university and the community often just are interwoven, and we fully embrace that and see that as part of our responsibility.
Do you have any kind of favorite memory with a student or just a moment that just keeps you going?
I think of a lot of funny stories, but yeah, I have a student that really struggled their freshman year here at Waynesburg. He's a great young man, but he wasn't doing well in his classes, and I remember just mentoring him and assisting him as his advisor and spending time with him and just hearing his heartbeat and his story and his passion and talking through some of the details of how he could succeed at Waynesburg University. And he started taking some of those steps, and now he's just thriving as a junior on campus, and really his ministry is fruitful and his education's going a lot better.
That's awesome. Yeah. Now, kind of as we wrap this up, what are some of your long-term goals here at Waynesburg?
Yeah, one of my long-term goals would be to see the Biblical and Ministry Studies program really thriving on our campus. It's a smaller major, and so it's not about numbers, but it's about seeing our students just thriving as far as ministry experiences, internships, and then when they graduate, having the outcomes that we hope, which is employment in a church or with a nonprofit. And so I'd love to see that grow. I'd love to see the number of students, but also our students who are getting connected upon graduation just thrive.
Thank you for joining us, Professor Sumter. When we come back, we'll have our word of encouragement. You're watching The Journey.
Don't look at frizzy today. Oh, you should pick that up. Oh, you're such a dork. Loser. Here, let me help you with that. Oops.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Oh, look. Your crush is looking at you. Poor you.
They want to help, but don't know how.
See, no one here's gonna help you, because no one
Teach your
likes you.
kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
Welcome back to The Journey. Now it's time for our word of encouragement for this episode. What does it mean to make disciples? In Matthew 28:18-20, it defines it for us. And Jesus said, "All authority in heaven and on earth has been given to me. Therefore go and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit, and teaching them to obey everything I have commanded you. And surely I am with you always to the very end of the age." Simply put, it means to teach others to observe what Jesus has said. To disciple people is to live out our faith in this world, to share it with others, to teach it by word, and to model it by example. The concept of going into all the world and making disciples is to share our faith, to seek to lead people to Christ, and then, to the best of our ability, help them become spiritually mature. Somewhere along the way, we have separated evangelism from discipleship, but no such distinction is given in Scripture. They are a part of each other. The idea is not just to share the gospel, lead someone in a decision for Christ, and then say, "God bless you, see you later." We wouldn't do that any more than a doctor delivering a baby would give the newborn a package of diapers, set him out on the sidewalk, and then say, "Okay, son, it's been good to be with you for this brief time. All the best to you." A baby needs to be nurtured, loved, and cared for, and so does a new believer. To make disciples is to help new believers grow spiritually and become dedicated, committed, faithful, mature disciples of Jesus, and in turn repeat the process with someone else. To make disciples is to reproduce yourself. It is to bring others to Christ, help them get on their feet spiritually, and then do that again and again. In Colossians 1:18 it says, "So everywhere we go, we tell everyone about Christ. We warn them and teach them with all the wisdom God has given us. For we want to present them to God perfect in their relationship to Christ." We want to thank you for tuning into our first episode of The Journey this semester. Join us in a few weeks when we go on another faith-based journey. I'm Emily Bennett. We'll see you next time.